No, I'm not a writer.
Okay.
Here we go. This is Mike Lodge. I am the business advisor, and I'm glad that you've joined me this morning. Hope you all have your cup of coffee and ready to talk about something that is important to not only the nation but also to businesses around the country. We have a big problem, and that problem is leadership. We have leadership who are not leading. If you look at the latest SVB bank that failed, if you look at Signature Bank, if you look at all these other banks that are failing, it all boils down to leadership. Federal Reserve Vice Chair came out yesterday and said that SVB created their own destruction. And he's right with that comment. Because as we look at leadership at the top of this nation, to the leadership in businesses, we are seeing that leaders are so focused on being liked, on adopting the politically corrupt woke culture. I couldn't say that. Sorry about that. Woke culture. That they have lost the focus on operating their businesses and also operating the nation. We have individuals of this SVG bank on several different levels that allowed failure to happen. If you look at the Federal Reserve, did not conduct the stress test needed on the banking industry. If you look at the auditors who were auditing these books, who never said anything that we know of about the financial condition of these companies. And then if we look at the operational side of these companies where they had board of directors who had no experience in banking or finance, and sometimes not even have never even run a company. We had CEOs and CFOs and risk managers not observing risk. They were warned. In fact, the Federal Reserve 2 years ago put out a memo to all banks that said, you have to do better at managing your risks. But they didn't do it. So they had the warnings. The banks had the warnings. In fact, if you look at the FDIC, both in 2022 and 2023, at the beginning of the year, they put out a statement that said, if you are dealing in cryptocurrency business models, you are operating at a high risk. And warned them, do not operate with this type of situation. Now, the argument has been by a lot of people in crypto that they feel as though the federal government is taking them out. Well, here's the problem with crypto is that it is so filled with fraud and corruption. And we read every single day of another individual being arrested because of crypto fraud or digital currency fraud. That even the banks did nothing. And it's a big risk. So we have to look at the leadership roles of the nation, and we have to look at businesses themselves. Listen, you don't have to be liked. In business, you don't have to be liked. You have to be respected, because respect gets things done. Being liked just goes around the corner and over to the side of nonsense. And pretty soon, you have lost control because you're so focused on doing the politically correct thing. You're so focused on being liked. You're so focused on on meeting the agenda of other people's groups instead of what is needed for the company, you lose control. You lose your focus. You're not running the business as a business anymore. It's now become a social playground of nonsense. You know, in running the company, I love what Henry Cabot Lodge said. And his statement was right on target. Because what he said is that respect is very important. And he stated that I would rather see the United States respected than loved by other nations. And that's how we used to be. We used to be respected. Every country around the world respected us. You see, bad leadership, just one bad leader can destroy the whole issue of leadership. And we haven't had any leadership for the last 2 years. In the business, we haven't had any leadership in the last 2 years. And now we are seeing things go bad. You see, when you put political goals in front of what is needed to create a sound economy or a sound business, you will never win. It will just get worse and worse. You see, politics is a corrupt entity. It lies. It steals. It zigzags around so you can never catch up with it. Politics has never been an ethical entity, and it never will be. Because once they become a politician and they get into Washington, D.C., they forget about who they're representing. And that's also true with business leaders. They forget who they are representing. You see, there are people out there called stockholders, and they're the ones who invested in those companies. But instead, the leader went off into some other tangent. A good example is Disney. Disney became so politically corrupt that it attacked the communities in which they were in. The people that they were serving, who they were in service to. They forgot about it. They wanted to be so liked by all of the political agenda people out there that they forgot about, there's another group of people who go to their parks and want to have their families there. Instead, they attack the families. That's not leadership. That's a politically corrupt business. And we see other businesses out there with the same problem. Leadership has been failing for almost 2 years now. Maybe even a little bit longer than that, but they've been failing. I look at these individuals and the statements that they make, especially in Disney. Disney did a horrible job. That's why they removed the president of Disney, and the old one came back in. Now he's cleaning house, and he's also having to deal with an economic issue that the former people created. And with an economy that is bad, is in the tanks. So this week, they begin to lay off 7,000 people at Disney. Had to be done. Had to move forward because the economy sucks. And Disney knows it sucks. And they can no longer be liked as leaders in that company. They have got to be strict leaders. And that's what we really need in the remainder of our country. If you're going to lead, don't lead to be liked. Lead as a strict leader. And you can do that professionally. But you've got to set the agenda, and you've got to stick to the agenda. Do not bring in any politics. Do not bring in any of this social nonsense that people are trying to push you to do. Forget that. That's not what creates money for the business. That's not what creates success or leadership or respect. You've got to refocus as a leader. Because you can no longer be weak. Once you have been politically corrupted, you have now a weak leader. You cannot be a weak leader any longer. The most important thing is that you have to know the story of your company. You've got to know what the future story is going to be. And you've got to set the agenda. You've got to set the momentum. If you allow politics in there, you get sidewinked. You go off into other directions. And you forget to focus on new products, on new people, on training your people better, on getting new clients, etc., etc., etc. Politics is so corrupt that it has done too much damage to our nation and to our businesses out there. Listen, whatever you want to do outside the company that doesn't involve the company name, that's fine. Go do it. But when you're inside the company and you're running that company, that means that you are focused on running the business of that business. Not the business of politics, because that destroys your business. So don't worry about being liked. Because right now, I don't like you. And most of the nation doesn't like the leaders of the leaders that they see talking at the moment. I don't like you. I'm sorry. It's the truth. I want to see real leaders, people who take control and move forward. I don't want to hear about your politics. I don't want to hear about your social, whatever you want to call it, wokeness. I don't want to hear about that. I want to hear about your plans on running that company. I want to hear about your plans that does not involve any politics whatsoever. I want to know that you are business focused. If you're going to be politically focused, and if you're going to support all of the social nonsense that's out there, you're not a leader. You just are not a leader. You're a follower. And the business does not need a follower. It needs leadership. Strict leadership. That should be the new term for 2023 on into 2024. Is that this is strict leadership is needed. Listen, if you want to have a question answered on business, you can send it to me at thebusinessadvisor@gmail.com. Z as in zebra, okay? And if you would like to sit down with me for an advisory or consultation, you can book me online at www.lodge.co.com. Come on, you guys. Let's be leaders. Let's get out there and do our jobs. Focus on the business of running a business. We have too much to get done. We have an economy that is so inflated at the moment and banks that are failing. We have a national security issue with China, Russia, and Ukraine. We need to remain focused, and we need to be strict, and we need to go forward. This is Mike Lodge, the Business Advisor. Love you guys. Talk with you soon. Bye-bye.